Hi guys, good morning. Oh, actually it's not as late as I thought. I got really early. I woke up really early, as in like 4:30, and just couldn't get back to sleep because yesterday was okay, so one way or another, I think quite a lot of us are going through very intense stuff, all to do with our own inner distortions and our own inner shit, our own inner stuff that we don't even have words for because it's that complicated or fugy or murky or whatever. You know, there's so much stuff in life there just isn't any words for, and that in itself is difficult. Then just switch those birds off a bit. So everything was alright yesterday, though I did have this heavy anxiety all day, and it had to do with feeling really worried, feeling really agitated with regards to things that are going on in my life at the moment, and fear, versus on the other side going, it's okay, it's safe to let go, surrender, let it go, and know that you are precious and that you belong, that you are safe, and that all will work out because you are precious, because you are protected, because you are safe. And then this side going, oh, that's ridiculous, we're not safe, everything is fucked, and oh my god, what are you gonna do, oh my god. So that tug of war going on all day, which in and of itself wears you out. But I did alright with that because I went into nature, and that always really helps. And sometimes, you know, when it's like that, we just have to stay in the light continually, meaning staying in the light doesn't mean that you don't feel like shit. It doesn't mean that you're not depressed. It doesn't mean that you don't feel anxiety. It doesn't mean that you don't have inner distortions going on at all. That is not. Some people think staying in the light means that you're just like that, which is fucking bullshit. And again, it's gaslighting. That's new age and it's bullshit. Staying in the light means being present with your inner stuff, being present with it, and knowing that you have a choice, knowing that you can make the choice, set the intention to love yourself regardless, because you're worthy. And I hate that terminology. Oh, you're worthy and you're deserving. I don't like those words. There's something just not quite right with those words. I don't know why, but they don't really work for me. For me, it feels more like, you know, it's a fucking fact that we are precious, that we matter, and that, you know, that we can set the intention to stand by ourselves, to be our own best friend, to say, you know what, you really have massive anxiety today, and you have all this shit going on there telling you that you need to be in a state of fear, because you need to worry, you need to figure things out, you need to be in control, go. When actually it's much better to relinquish that, to let go of that, and to go to the other side of, well, you know what, I have no control over the outcome of this or this or this, and what can I do, what matters most right now? And it always comes back to what matters is that we are precious, what matters is that we are powerful creator beings. You know, we are fucking special, and we belong in the great scheme of things. We really do. And I say belong, I don't mean to say we belong in this world. No, we belong in all that is. We are intrinsically incredible, infinite. We are infinite. Try and you know, try and process that notion of being infinite, you know, because that is a good one to do. Love is infinite. Anyway, so all that, then I got back home, and then there's somebody who owes me money, and this person is just messing me about a bit, and I got a message on Facebook from this person messing me about a bit more, and it just triggered me in a massive way. I had a really big and complete and utter big meltdown. I mean, it was, you know, a trigger can set us off in that way. And it's disproportionate, isn't it? Because you think, well, actually, it's you look at the thing that, or the person or the event or whatever that triggered you, and you think, maybe a year later, why did I react like that? But it isn't because of that event or that person. It's that it's like a key, and it fits in a particular lock to a particular door to unlock that and let out that dark shit, that belief, that programming, you know. And the feeling of being out of control, of being powerless, of being in a world where you can't trust people, where everybody's trying to fuck you over, and where people are parasitical, which often enough is the case. It is. Often enough it is. But when you eventually move into a space of self-love and self-power, discernment, honouring yourself and staying calm, and you know, that resonant power that you have, that you feel, that you sense, it's okay to let go. I don't need to react. I don't need to be in this space of darkness. Join the dark side, Luke. You know, be in fear and rage and punish yourself and worrying and, oh, it's never going to work out, everybody's doing everything to me, all this type of shit. You know, when you move out of that into that, I'm letting this go, and then things do start to work out. So then I got this little message, and I thought it was good, so I'm going to read it to you this morning, because it might help you as well. It says, do you feel as if you are at the beck and call of circumstances, situations, relationships that are outside of your control? Is your attention being called away from what you love, from your passionate focus upon your own journey and creative self-expression? Are you feeling roped into becoming a support, a tonic, a saviour, a heal-all for others? Or do you just feel like people are taking a fucking piss out of you? You know, these parasitical assholes. There is a big difference between healthy supportiveness in a relationship, which includes healthy self-support and respect, and ignoring your own journey out of misplaced guilt, shame, unworthiness, or the belief that the needs of others are somehow more important than your own. That is not compromise. That is unhealthy and neglectful of yourself. You are being asked to see through the assumptions, the expectations, the tantrums and the manipulations that may be put upon you by others or yourself. See through them to the truth. You can sidestep, change your response to, or choose to release that which you can recognize. You are capable of seeing the truth, of outsmarting old patterns and distortions and responding more creatively and craft new, improved relationships, a new and improved life and reality. You don't have to be drawn into the dramas of others or the suffering of repetitive struggles. You can become still and intent with a willingness to see the truth, and in doing so, you will be open to being shown another way, a lighter way, through to the inner wisdom of your heart. This is a powerful time for us. no matter how small or dramatic events appear to be, know that we are stepping into a new phase of empowerment, and from that place a new freedom and self-love will emerge. I just wanted to read that to you because I found it very comforting to read that this morning. The truth is, people, that... Oh, a bit tearful. Healing is not fucking pretty. It's not about seamlessly floating through things and being all happy or being you know, perfect or glossy, or, you know, healing is not like, oh, I was really fucked up and bing, all of a sudden I'm just fine and I'm happy. You know, we've been in this fucking place in this world where we have been gaslighted, we have been manipulated, we have been violated, we have been fucking abused, we have been parasited off, we've been through so much fucking shit, some of us more than others, but all the same. No, not all the same, but you know what I mean. The truth is that healing is really fucking messy. It's fucking carnage. It's chaos. It's messy. And it's not pretty. So, you know, if any of you have a meltdown and you scream your head off and, you know, you shout at the dog or your husband or your girlfriend or your sister or your whatever, and you go completely ballistic and fucking... This happens. This is all part of the journey, I feel. It is. It's raw and it's fucking... It's that way because of what we have been through, which is fucking insanity, people. So the healing of this insanity isn't going to be all, oh yeah, like, oh, we must safely release this and whatnot, because when you get triggered, it will come up and it will come out and it won't be pretty, and you might piss people off. You may feel guilty afterwards and, oh God, oh. Because we're so conditioned, aren't we, to think that we have to behave a certain way at all times, and it always has to be acceptable to those around us, and our behaviour always has to be acceptable to society, which is all it's behavioural manipulation and control, because at the end of the day society is perfectly alright with all kinds of really nefarious fucking shit that you're not allowed to speak out against. But, oh, you're not supposed to be rude, and you're not supposed to get angry. Do you know what I mean? It's all fucking hypocritical, nasty, gaslighty nonsense, and it fucks me off. Healing is carnage, and it's raw, and it's fucking messy. You know, blood on the carpet, people, you know, storm. That is the truth of healing. That's the way it is. And if you're in a relationship that it's worth its soul, then you'll be able to together work through that shit. You'll be able to say, you know, yeah, you did have a real blow up there, but hey, I love you and I completely understand where you're coming from. And yes, you did hurt my feelings, but hey, it's okay because I can forgive you. We can work through this and let that go and move on. And hey, at least what's out can't go back in, you know, it's better out than in, whatever, people. But give yourself some leeway, you know. Give yourself some fucking leeway, some fucking forgiveness, some fucking pat on the back for having stood your ground all this time, having worked through all these layers of inner trauma, because we're dealing with massive trauma here. Massive, massive fucking trauma. It's big, people. We have been through so much, it's unbelievable. This whole sense, this guilt that we feel after these outbursts of rage or of self-hate, of, you know, this, oh, I'm a bad person, oh, that is just more mind control. That's just more mind control, it really is. And so we look that in the eye and we say, ha, I see that shit, and that fucks me off as well. So feel that rage, feel it, people, because it's unacceptable, it's bullshit. You see? I mean, you look at the world and you see what it is, right? You see how the manipulation works, how the brainwashing works, and how distorted people are, and how fucked up people are, and how wounded everybody is. How the fuck does anybody expect that healing that is A, gonna take only a couple of days, and B, oh, it's going to be really nice and seamless and smooth and pretty? That is just insanity in and of itself. No, healing that is going to be dark, it's going to be fucking bending over backwards, it's going to be carnage, it's not going to be pretty. Deal with it. Don't feel that you're a bad person for having outbursts, for going crazy from time to time, for screaming your head off. We all live as well, most of us live on top of each other, don't we? We live in apartment complexes or houses with paper thin walls, and so you get that other feeling, this you know, people policing each other. It's like, oh, I better be quiet because what will the neighbours think? Because the neighbours will hear. Because, you know, you get the feeling that the people that live around you can hear every word you say, can hear every word you think, you know. It's by design, you know, by the way, because that helps to keep everybody nicely like that and in line, afraid. Oh, the neighbours, you know, they want us to think that we're all policing each other. Some people do, most people don't, they don't really care, they're far too busy with their own shit. But again, this is definitely by design. They want us to think that way because they want to keep all this trauma repressed down there in your subconscious, from whence it runs the show and terraforms the reality that the Archons like. So by allowing it to all come up, and by refusing to stay with that guilt, but to release that and to lovingly accept ourselves and saying, you know what, I'm going through a massive healing crisis here and it ain't pretty, but I'm healing and I love myself and I'm going to stand by myself all the fucking way. Yes. And so that is what I'm going to do, because I love myself, because I'm precious, because I'm an infinite being. And I'm going to keep surrendering because, yeah, I'm not really in control and that terrifies the fuck out of me. But I deserve for things to work out well. I hate that word, deserve. You know, the reason we think that way is because we are in a state of, still mentally, of lack, scarcity and separation, all alone in the dark. When in fact, of course, as infinite beings, before we came here supposedly to have this experience, that was just a far off concept. Duality, separation, lack, scarcity. Oh, it's an interesting concept. Hey, maybe we should create that and go there and have that experience and see what that's all about. That could be interesting, right? But either way, let's keep surrendering, let's keep forgiving, and let's just love ourselves. Let's keep setting that intention, people, in the middle of all this carnage and all this insanity. That is healing, you know. It's important for us to remember that that is what healing is. That no matter how ugly it looks and even feels, and then you get that guilt to say, I see that, but I will stand here with myself 100% with love, with self-love, because I am beautiful, I am precious, I am infinite. I'm just having an experience, but it's very hard and very painful, and I'm going through loads of shit, but it's going to be alright. I deserve for it to be alright. And so I let go and I surrender. I allow myself to do that, little by little. Because it's very hard, isn't it? We're so used to have to hold on to it with fear and trepidation. It's the only way. No, actually, that is the wrong way, and that just creates more shit. But we literally are moving from mass consciousness, fear, hate consciousness to magic consciousness, where we know how to manipulate matter, time, space, reality, which is meant to be, you know, it's let's say it's made up of clay. That clay is meant to be shaped into shapes that you want to shape it in. We are infinite beings. But that journey to go from that darkness to this light is a winding road. It's a really winding road. And right now we're in the heavy these are the heavy monster sounds type of time. I mean, it's very intense, people. So, you know, that's why I'm just doing this video just to say, look, it's all right, it's okay. I'm really going through it as well, and so I'm really doing this video for myself. But I'm managing to keep getting back to self-love, the epicenter of it all. Self-love, you know, and honouring myself and staying with myself, standing with myself. Because that, as long as we keep doing that, as long as we keep letting go and surrendering, because that is an act of self-love, by the way, people. Letting go and surrendering is an act of self-love, because holding on in fear, ooh, worry, that is self-punishment, and that is mind-controlled behavior. So that is what we're learning to let go of. And the very thing that makes us, that traps us in that is self-hate and fear, which is all about, oh, you know, you don't deserve to be well, you don't deserve for good things to happen, you deserve for people to treat you like shit. So we need to look that in the eye. It's an ugly thing. But that is what this reality does to us, you know. They do it to you in schools, society does it, you know. And it's bullshit. Because the opposite is true. But only in surrender and self-love can we be receptive to the understanding and the feeling and the resonance of that, knowing that, yes, we're meant to have prosperity and well-being. We're meant to have things work out for us. We're meant to be healed physically, emotionally, mentally, materially. We are infinite beings. We're not here to just endure loads of shit and then die. That's fucking pointless. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there for today, and wherever you are, if you're going through a really tough time and things are really fucking shitty and you're being triggered all the time and all this shit and this rage and this insanity is coming up and you don't feel really guilty about it, know that you're not alone, and know that this is all part of the course. You're not getting it wrong. You're not getting it wrong. This is part of healing. It's okay. It's alright. Alright? Take care, darling.